Do I have a microphone? It's behind. Thank you, Mary.
Okay. Are you ready now? Okay. I'd like to call the August 1st, 2024 Wall City Council to order. Would you please call roll? Carolyn.
Hoffman,
Here.
Morgan,
Here.
Stan Anderson,
Here.
Houston,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Hawk,
Here.
Mike Anderson.
Here.
We do have a form.
Okay, let us stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And Sergeant Swanson, would you lead us, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any order of business for emergencies, Carolyn?
We do not.
Okay, is there attendance on Zoom?
No,
No.
there is not.
Okay, so we'd like to welcome Sergeant Swanson, or is it going to be Deputy? The deputy is going to speak, okay?
So in the month of July, we survived the wall celebration. You can see probably in front of you, I don't have the sheet in front of me. But traffic stops are up, with wall celebration, whatnot going on. I believe the numbers are 45 warnings and a couple of citations in that, so traffic stops are looking pretty good. Wall celebration went down without any significant issues. We did catch a fake ID at the door, but that's being addressed. So we should be good. Nothing really stands out. You guys have any questions for the police report?
We certainly appreciated Sheriff Brian Mueller that joined us for the rodeo and then for the parade.
Yep.
So that someone commented that was the first time they could remember that a sheriff attended the wall celebration. So take that word back to him, if you would, please. So, okay, so are there any other comments or questions for the deputies?
The rally stuff, I mean, you guys probably got a couple people here.
Yep, so rally kicked off today officially as far as our rally schedule is concerned. As you can see, we've got personnel, so we should be completely covered up for the rally with good coverage. A lot of our assets and whatnot, you know, obviously towards the hill, we're gonna see bleed over. So I think we're ready for the traffic that we're gonna see. Hopefully it's a productive rally and we see a lot of traffic, so. Yeah.
They brought a lot of troopers out this side of the state too, so you'll probably see a lot more troopers in this area as well, just so you're aware of that as well.
So will we have like this many deputies every day here, or is this a unique situation tonight?
This is kind of a unique situation
Okay.
tonight. You know, the supervisor will be floating around, obviously. Today she's here because of the city council meeting. And then we should have, you know, deputies covering with a certain amount of overage where we're kind of doubled up for the middle of the day. So we should be pretty much set.
Okay, very good. All right, anything else? Thank you so much. State
Thank you.
travels, we appreciate what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You too. Have a good evening, guys.
Okay, next, would I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So,
Mike moved,
second.
Dan seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Is there a conflict of interest that needs to be declared at this point from anyone? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the July 16th city council meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, Stan moved and he was so soft spoken. And Rick has seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, in front of you is the bills, the claims for the city of Wall, the fire department, and the library. Have you all had an opportunity to review those? And does anyone have any questions on any of those?
Move to approve.
Okay, Dan has moved to approve the city claim, the City of Wall Fire Department and library claims. Do I have a second? Jerry seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Also, for your review, included in the packet is the balance sheet for the ambulance. Also, the golf course financial report. Stan, how did the tournament or the big event this last weekend go?
So very good.
Okay,
That's, I think, the best one we've ever had.
awesome.
wow.
Cause I did see your dollars were up a bit. Okay, that's awesome. The water usage report. We're using water. Is there any good reason that we're using more water, Garrett? And would some of it be construction?
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking that too. Okay, the sales tax is, also included in your packet as well as the BBB. Any comments or thoughts on the sales tax revenue or the BBB? Okay, is there any thoughts on or questions on the budget report? The expense report for Carolyn to answer. Okay. So that brings it, oh, and also, for your review, included in that, information is a, building permit to add a storage shed at 602 William Street, which is Nick and Aaron Cox. Garrett, you have, approved that?
Yep.
And it's, within the price designation, so that is been approved and we can move forward then to item number 12, which is our visitor, Joel Stevens.
Thank you, council, for letting me come be a visitor, and, we're gonna, Naga Shriners have a ceremonial every year. And I'm the CEO of Naga Shriners, all of Western South Dakota this year, and which goes from Wyoming to the pier, and from North Dakota and down to Nebraska. So we're covering a large area, and we're gonna have a ceremonial for our new candidates. And, we have one every year, and this year we're gonna have it in Wall. And I have the community center rented, I have, camping spots rented over to, Sleepy Hollow. We're gonna use the golf course for a golf on Friday. And then have an event out there on Friday, and then, we'd like to have a parade down Main Street with all of our units. It's our candidates lead the parade, and it's kind of a big deal for the candidates, so they remember why they became one. We'll go down Main Street and, talk to Carolyn, and I talked to Katie. They thought maybe we could just do the west side of Main Street and just go straight down. We're gonna be at the Masonic Lodge on Second Street, and we'll stage all our vehicles over there. And then we'll just come around the corner and come right down Main Street, down to the boulevard. And then those guys will all disperse back to the Masonic Lodge. And it's, hopefully we'll have 60, we're planning on like 60 to 80 people here. So for the weekend, so, we'd like to, just have a parade down Main Street. And, I don't know if we have to block off the streets, you know, maybe we might have, it's only gonna be 30-minute parade. I mean, it's just zip right down the street. I mean, we're not gonna throw candy, we're not gonna do any of that other stuff. We're just gonna parade down the street, make it an event for our new Shriners, and go from there.
So what day is this?
It'll be, September 14th.
Okay, September 14th.
that a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
And what time?
Well, we have our ceremonial, the event ceremonial at, Masonic Lodge at 8:30. And then that takes about an hour and a half. And then, that would bring it about 10 o'clock. So then about 10 o'clock, we'll come down Main Street, give or take 10 or 15 minutes, one way or the other. But about 10 o'clock, I would say, we'd be coming down Main Street. And then, we'll have, horse-drawn, our stagecoach and some of our other units will have their members all in tow, and, we'll just go down the Main Street and, kind of make a spectacle of ourselves, and then we'll have, we're gonna come after the parade, and we'll come back to the community center and have a function here, and then, afterwards, we'll probably go over to Sleepy Hollow and have, social stuff over there, so.
Awesome.
So, Gary,
There'll be clowns. Unfortunately, there may be one or two.
so Gary, would you be able to work, or first of all, are we okay with that?
It does sound like it's gonna take long. Will we have to block the parking need to block the parking on the west side?
Yeah, we just have somebody over there to stop traffic.
Cause you wouldn't want somebody backing out into the parade.
Right.
Right.
Are you gonna have the little motorcycles?
Yeah, we'll have some go-karts and some little mini bikes and, horse-drawn, our stagecoach would be horse-drawn. And that'd be about, and maybe an outrider or two, but, other than that, it'd just be motorized. So we'll just kind of go down the parade as fast as the candidates can walk, and we'll just be down the street. And I don't know if we'll go all the way to South Boulevard, we might go to the, clinic and turn instead of having, and we go back that way, instead of having to go all the way to South Boulevard.
Right, 2 more blocks
Yeah.
there. Okay, so, do you wanna work with Garrett then and the deputies and
Yep.
get that?
And it just take, from the Masonic Lodge around the corner and get past Fourth Avenue, then it'd be just straight down the street and, zip it, kind of no stopping and just motor around down the street. That's the plan anyhow.
Well, I hope you get it advertised, cause I think that's a fun group to watch.
And I'm gonna have, I think Katie's gonna put some stuff out for us, and we're gonna put some stuff in the newspaper and
Great,
stuff like that, and on Facebook.
perfect.
You might see if the motels would let you.
And, we have rooms at the King's Inn, locker rooms for people to stay, so they can walk up and down Main Street to, cause people will be around all weekend, so hopefully they can get the businesses and walk from their motel.
Okay, sounds great. Any other questions, concerns? Okay, well, thank you, Joel.
Okay, appreciate everything you guys do and the support.
Absolutely.
Oh, all I got for, thank you, we had a circus this year, we had it in Phillip this year, the next coming year, we'll have it back in the wall again. So, we have moved around just so Phillip has some, and we have some business over here too, but we'll be having a circus back in the wall again in 25.
Okay. Good to know. And congratulations on your position. too.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing it to Wall especially. Okay, so that moves us on then to public comments. Is there anyone here that would like 3 minutes to address a concern? Okay, seeing none, moving on to permits. First of all, we have a building permit for Golden West, a 6-foot fence. And if you look at that the application on the back, on the second page would be the drawing. They'll be 6 feet high, and it will be a chain link fence with slats. Do I
There's
have-
already a barbed wire fence there now, or, I don't know if it's barbed wire, but a wire fence.
It's on the north side of the storage part that they have,
Yep.
right between, some of those residential areas that are there. Would I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Rick moved
Second.
and Stan seconded. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. The next one is a conditional use permit for the Common Sense. They are asking for a shed storage unit on their property. Not seeing the size, but will this be permanent or is it just temporary for
This
this?
is what they bring.
They do it every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 3-year time frame, but they have it for during rally for their overstock of.
Liquids.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone gets dehydrated during this time of year, it seems like. So, okay, so common sense, do I have a motion to approve the conditional use?
So moved.
Zach has moved, is there a second?
Second.
Jerry seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And the last, item is, Rachel Booman. Well, I guess it doesn't say the name, but this is, to continue to operate a hair salon, from her home.
Move to approve.
Second.
Jerry moves, Dan seconded. Any other questions?
Carolyn, what's the time frame?
3 years.
3 years. Thank you.
Is she on like her third year on this or this will
She's
be
complete.
3 years forward?
Yeah.
Got it, okay. Good question, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, that brings us to an ambulance report and that would be Billy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna give you a report for June, I was gone last month, so, and I don't have numbers yet for July, today is August 1st, so. But anyway, June, we had 9 calls, 3 refusals out of these 9 calls, so we had only 6 patients transported to the hospital. We did also have 5 rodeo standbys in June. July looks like gonna be a little bit better, we have more numbers, don't know yet for sure how much more. Okay, big news for ambulance service, we did hire a director and he actually started today, August 1st, his name is Justin Perkins. He was with our ambulance service for a year now as a part-timer. He's gonna be here at the next meeting, so he's gonna introduce himself and he's probably gonna give a report on July runs. Yes. Next thing, Matt Thompson, you all remember Matt Thompson, he was a consultant for ambulance. We keeping him as a retained consultant this month during the transition period. And we're gonna cancel his contracts as of November 1st. And the last thing I would like to mention again, we're gonna have a fundraiser for the ambulance and fire department, this coming Sunday. On the corner of the Main Street and South Boulevard, next to the coffee shop. We're gonna serve pancakes and sausage from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
What day is that gonna be?
Sunday, just coming Sunday, yes.
Lolia, will there be any beverages?
Milk and coffee and water.
7 to 10.
No, this type of beverages, no alcohol.
Well, yes, yeah.
No.
Good.
No mojitos or anything.
No Bloody Mary.
No mimosas.
7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Pancake.
It's a free breakfast and donations are accepted. That's it. So that's all I have, and just like I said, we're planning for the new director to be here at the next meeting. So you guys can meet him. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Blake. Excellent.
Okay, that brings us to the finance officer report.
So the other part of the ordinance is, besides the zoning ordinance that has been being worked on, is a revision done by American Legal. Prior to that, we had Unicode, and American Legal is what the word is, through the South Dakota Municipal League. They are, what's the word I want to say?
Like authorized or?
Yeah, right. So
Endorsed,
endorsed, there you go.
there you go.
And a lot of other towns have been using them, so I actually had this in the budget for 2023, but we were a little slow getting going. Have a revision. They seem to think it's our last one, but I'm reaching out to them and telling them that they did not give me a final review. So I will be looking at putting a committee together to look at those. You know, I basically just told them to remove police department because we have law enforcement, we don't have a police department, things like that, and no way did I think that was a final. So, working on that, and just to give you a heads up that we will be needing to have a committee to review on that. And then received another check today for another lot out in the Hanson subdivision. So this would be the last one on Gloria Street, the furthest south one. And so we've received a total of 36,270 on those, all the lots sold out there. There's still one left on the corner of Kelly Avenue. That was included in that subdivision project, so just to give you an update on that. And we don't really have anything else to share that I can think of.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay. Public Works.
I'll just give you a little update on Fourth Avenue. They'll be back after the rally on the 12th to do all the asphalt work. I don't know if you guys have drove down that. It's really nice. I think, and then they'll come through and do, I don't know when to seed. I don't think it would do any good this time of year to put it down, so hopefully the weeds don't get out of control or anything. And I don't know if you noticed on the south side where the sidewalk stops in front of Golden West, I'm gonna make a walk path from there to connect to Fourth Avenue where they, people walk along the side of there on the south side, cause it just looks kind of weird how it just stops right there. And then Mary and I talked about the school, the powerhouse, and the attorney for the school said it is a school zone, so we have some signs to put up that say, school zone when children are present. And I don't know if it'll do any good to put speed signs to slow it down, but I mean, at least, they can watch for kids, cause there's kids there in the morning weights all summer long, and Friday there's gymnastics, and so there's kids around.
There.
What's that?
Junior high has practices there.
Yeah.
So what's the school zone speed limit?
It's usually 15. But where it's just like half a block, I don't know. I mean, we can look and see what happens, but I mean, we already have enough problems with speeding there.
You think that would slow down some of the traffic if they see this? I was wondering if you could put solar yellow flashing lights on them too, maybe.
Yeah, we got an extra $6,000-7,000.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Just select the barrel with the sign on there, the speed sign on it.
Yeah, but
So
you know, and
like at school, when those lights come on, is that just set automatically? They just come on at a certain time every day?
Yep.
During school, but
Yep, we program them. The state put them in and the city is in charge of maintaining them.
could it be pretty sporadic over there?
Yeah, you couldn't really couldn't set a time.
Right.
And that way I thought, it just said when children are present.
Right.
That would be. Could be any time, I guess. We'll see how that works. I personally think that, I mean, just from being out and about and living on that corner, I think it's traffic slowed down a little bit. I mean,
All the signs you put up and the flags and everything, I think is making a difference.
I agree. I've driven down there and I think traffic is slower and it has had an impact.
Fourth Avenue will be your new problem. That's such a nice big white
Looks like a
street.
racetrack.
it already is.
It's a beautiful street with sidewalks on both sides for safe walking, so it's amazing.
So yeah, and I think everybody's happy over there. For now, once they can see that
Yeah.
stuff's finally getting done.
Light at
But
the end of the tunnel.
yeah, I don't have much else.
Okay, there any alley issues or anything we got going on? Or-
Oh, where there's no alleys that I know of, but the hall. The agreement
Oh,
up there,
okay, and I've got,
where the county was hauling chips and the state was hauling chips, they tore up the road up by the meat plant. Pretty bad, and every time I call that Chris guy, he's not there, and every time he calls me, I'm busy, but I am working on to see if they will work with us and get something figured out.
okay, all right.
Oh, yeah, and the light pole.
The lights,
Sorry, it's been a long day.
I know it is, I'm sorry.
So there's a light pole, if you go in the alley behind the Wall Mall. There's a light pole that's very close to the alley, and it's hard for the delivery trucks to make that turn. And I haven't got with, West River Electric yet, but Joe talked to me and he said it costs $6,000 to move it. And I agree that it is, you know, it makes that alley way too narrow. Might have hit it with a loader or blade once in a while, but. And so, and I think the reason it costs so much is there's, underground coming to it, they'd have to move. And then there's overhead going to houses that's there, but. I think and he wanted to know if we split the cost with him to have it moved, and he's okay with moving it farther onto his property. You know, cause either they're gonna destroy his building or hit that pole and they'll fall on a house. So when I get more numbers and stuff, I'll bring that forward, so.
Okay. Anything else? Then?
I don't think so.
You've been very, very busy and working early mornings and late nights, sure, so. Okay, that brings to the mayor's report. The street, I'd like to call the street committee. We did, yeah, tell us about annexation, Stan or Rick.
Well, Carolyn, but the annexation would be if we take in Tanner Hancock's property along with the city property, that quarter section. And when I talked to Carolyn today, you still don't have all of exactly how to go about doing it, right?
Right, I, have some notes on it, whether it's a voluntary or involuntary, which it's voluntary, but the process is just a bit different, so I wanna make sure I'm following the correct process that's necessary.
And isn't it the quarter section with the trap range on it?
Correct.
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 So will there have to be any platting done? Shouldn't be.
No, just, I think I have to notify property owners surrounding that area. And there's a resolution and a notification for the public to be aware of that, and so just to get that timeline down.
And there are property owners to the north and south too that we need to remember that.
Say that again, Mary.
There are property owners to the north and to the south. I was thinking about the one on the west, but, and then as I thought more,
But do you think the south, because there's a road that divides that? I guess
I
that's what I
don't think there'd be any other property owners to the south, just
well,
Echo Valley would have some to the north, right?
is it Echo that runs behind there, or does it jump over to, Crowns or Kirsten's or Bill Myers on the north?
Yeah, Bill
That would be
Myers
the
is
other
road.
side of once you get past the dam
Right,
and past the railroad tracks.
it's our land.
Right.
That it's
Okay.
around.
But we aren't annexing any of that.
No,
No, but they just have to,
Oh, yes, I see what
Be
you mean.
notified.
Yeah, okay.
we just have to make sure we don't forget to tell somebody. Unless, and I had just been thinking of the west, but then I think it's all the way around, so, okay. And then Garrett was just alluding to the haulers agreement. And do you want to explain that a little bit? Well, I guess he did kind of.
Well, the way I understand it's news to me as well, but, whether it's a county or the state or a big construction company, if they are gonna be using our streets and use heavy equipment, and we get them to sign an agreement, everybody agrees what the road looks like when they start hauling, and then they agree to, if there's any damages, that they repair them. Is that correct?
Yep, correct. And then we just, you know, kind of walk through the area and take pictures.
So what if it's a construction company and they don't wanna sign it?
Yeah, I don't,
Then you don't want them all on it.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's a city street, how do you do that? I mean, I agree with you, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I would guess it's maybe, if you're a trucking outfit, you probably know all about that, so that's probably not an issue.
And
But we have to do a resolution, right? Or put something in our minutes, or you say that that's what we're doing. You know. City property.
because we did contact Pennington County and they gave us permission to just adjust their agreement to from Pennington County to Wall, and it's a 3-page document, includes an inspection and then agreement for use and restoration and an agreement for release after, because they look at it before and they look at it after. So actually, I think it would be a good idea to have it in the minutes that we do have said agreement established, and that, so that when a company calls us and says, do you have one? Yes, we do. So would I have a motion to that effect then?
I'll make a motion to approve the haul road agreement.
Okay, so Zach has moved and Stan seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
That was our last little incident that we talked about.
I've been trying to call him and he's been trying to call me, and we just haven't. But I've worked with them before and they're good guys. I think they won't be an issue. It might not,
Who gave the second, sorry?
it might not be back to asphalt the way it was, but it'll be.
it'll be better than it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that south of town?
What's that?
Is that south of town?
No, north up by the meat plant. So as you know, the meat plant sits here, and if you go past there, there's a gate that the county uses. And they were going in and out of there because it didn't want to tear up their entrance.
Okay, next on, my report is that I received word from, Annette Brandt, who is the treasurer for Pennington County. She just wanted to make us aware that the commissioners are reviewing their budgets and that the Wall Satellite Office falls under her, budget, and they, came to the thought that if to cut the cost in cross training, that they, will probably not offer being able to do marriage licenses and birth certificates here. Because if they have that service, then they have to train somebody special. They can't just deal with what some of the usual. So that is, one of the moves that they're going to make. They've only done about a dozen of marriage and birth certificates in the last 5 to 6 years. So she doesn't think it warrants that, and she was just making me aware, and that they will be putting that out in the paper so that the community realizes if they need a birth certificate, for instance, they'll need to go to Rapid or one of the kiosks. So, and
Mary, you said a dozen in the last 5 to 10 years?
5 to 6 years.
5 to 6, okay, thank you.
So like maybe a couple all year long, so. But they aren't, they're still having the satellite office, they're just trying to reduce costs, okay? I also wanted to report that on July 24th, I attended the Municipal League workshop in Pierre. And I wanted to share their agenda so that I would encourage new people to go. And I wanted to give you an idea of exactly what they cover at that, because maybe some of the rest of us could get updated. They talked about the Public Assurance Alliance, how to protect public entities, work comp, how to work, human resource person from Pier did the municipal officials and employees, how to treat employees, keep employees, what to do if you need to remove an employee, how to do bids and contracts, especially if you're doing trade-ins, and then financial and compliance matters. It was just very, very good. At the end of the meeting, the assistant attorney talked about open meetings, executive sessions, and conflict of interest. And on the conflict of interest, he repeated that the review the codified laws about conflict of interest, and that Hanig versus Winter was still the best Supreme Court decision in that area. Executive session, he cautioned city councils to stick to the topic that you indicated that you were gonna talk about, and that's it. And then also open meetings, they did do a new brochure, and so I had asked Carolyn to give us some new colored brochures, and that's what I'm passing out there. And one of those pieces that's also very good is, and I had Carolyn also put this in your packet, but this talks about adding things on the agenda. You may recall you got a message from our city attorney reminding us that in our ordinance that we have Robert's Rules of Order. And so we do need to reflect that in our agenda format, which we did this evening. But some important things that they pointed out is that even though it does allow you to add something to the agenda, you still can only discuss that item, but no action is taken. And it will be placed on the agenda of the next meeting. And that all falls into the category that you did not give the public 24 or 48 hours to be aware that there was gonna be a decision on that item. And that was repeatedly, strongly encouraged at that particular workshops. Open meetings are a big deal. There's been 6 complaints that come in this year. Public knowing what's going on at public meetings is a big deal. Not making a decision on something that's added to the agenda is a big deal. And so the best bet for us is to continue to use that written policy that we unanimously approved in November of 2023, that by 3 o'clock on, depending on what day the meeting is, you do need to make it known what you want on the agenda. Okay, so we've had a really big week this week, and the Planning and Zoning Committee completed the draft of the ordinance. And I wanna just make note of the people that are on planning and zoning and share with you the hours that we put in getting this accomplished. And that people on the planning and zoning is Dan Hawk, Gary Keezer, Ryan Dinger, Linda Hilton, and Rick. But this just gives you a breakdown that we started meeting in August of last year. We've had 13 meetings now. There's a breakdown of what we talked about at each working session. And kudos to, for instance, Rick, he attended every one of those meetings. And 213 total hours was spent in meeting time only with our consultant. And we were fortunate enough to have Jennifer Seatsman, who is recognized all over the state. When I talked to the Rapid City Planning and Zoning person, Vicky, she said, oh my gosh, she is absolutely the best person in South Dakota. So we were fortunate, Carolyn, that's who local governments, Black Hills, happened to have on staff. She did come to us from Aberdeen, and she's marvelous. So after 213 hours, just at meetings does not count the time people spent reviewing and preparing for each of these meetings. Public comment, this is going to be brought for public comment. Would you please share that? Each of those, do you have a Band-Aid? Okay, and here is no, I'm okay. This is the zoning ordinance. And so each of you need to spend time reading this every night before you go to bed. To get through that before August 15th at 5:30, it is scheduled to have public comments. And that is gonna be preceding the council meeting that night. And if you look on the inside page, on page 8.
I got it memorized.
Some of these people that have spent this much time, no. Okay, so there's the proposed timeline on page 8. In other words, we published on August 1st that we were gonna have the public hearing. And then the public hearing will be August 15th, the first reading. We will get a recommendation from planning and zoning to send to the city council to be the first reading. The second reading then will be on September 5th. And then the notice of adoption needs to be published on the 12th and the 19th. And this ordinance then will go into effect on October 9th. So if you have questions, believe me, Dan can answer questions, Rick can answer questions, we can ask Jennifer. She will also be attending that public hearing on the 15th. So just can't stress how much effort has gone in to this particular document, but what we've got, we're gonna be able to follow, and it's gonna work for us. So, like I said, really a big week for Walt.
Mary, may I?
Yeah,
You said it's gonna be a public meeting on August 15th.
yes, at 5:30.
Is public gonna be able to review the zoning ordinance prior?
Yes, okay, this ordinance is on well, you can pick up a copy so you can get it in print. It's going to be,
Not on the website because it's a locked document
oh,
that you have to have a password for, so, we'll put it out on Facebook that people can come in and review it.
Can you post it on your website? Don't like load it to the city's website?
Well, it's a locked document, so I don't know how to do.
I mean, you probably just have to scan it in PDF file and.
It is a PDF locked document.
No, I mean. if you
oh, but
can
yeah,
just-
I see what she's
Yeah.
saying.
if you just have to
I
scan
get it. I
Oh,
think
see what you said.
yeah, I think, yes. That is our hope, that we can get it on the website so anybody can access it, absolutely. So, yes, people need to read this and the important thing is we have got people that want to do business in Wall and need to have this document in place and get going on it. So absolutely, it's important. And so get the word out there that it's available now and that we actually got it completed. So thank you for asking that question. Okay. Notes here. All right. So, any other questions or comments about any of that report? All right, that brings us to item number 19, items for discussion, no action will be taken. Does anyone have anything they'd like to bring up this evening in open session? Okay, I see none. The next council meeting then will follow that public hearing. Public hearing will be from 5:30 until about, I'm gonna say 6 o'clock. We'll come out of there with a recommendation. We need a break to go to the restroom before we start the city council meeting then at 6:30 that same night. So we'll save everybody a trip to to the community center, but anyway, that's kind of what we've got lined up. Okay, with that. Anybody else have anything else? Meeting is adjourned.
7/17/16, 7/16. It's gotta be a new record.